Hey everyone, it's me, Shell360, and I am back with a haul video. I figured I need to start the month of February off right. Number one, because it's a short month, and number two, I only did one video for the entire month of January, so yeah, I'm way past due for doing a video. But I have to say, the K-pop has been kind of slow this last month in terms of stuff that I've been getting in the mail. So I really haven't felt like I had anything to show you. I've been getting stuff this whole time. In fact, I've got a lot of stuff from December that I've never showed, but I just felt like the things that I wanted to talk about just weren't arriving in the mail. But I had some really great things off of my wish list that arrived, so I figured I should go ahead and do a video about those things at the very least, and maybe it'll kind of pick up my spirits and I'll feel like doing more videos in the future, because like I said, it's just been really slow with the mailing, and when that happens, it kind of knocks down your desire to want to do the videos. So before we get started with this, and I'm going to call this video probably Wishlist Haul 2 because a lot of this stuff has been on my wish list for a long time, I want to give a thank you to everybody who did the bias tag. I don't have all of your names, but I know that Becca Harding did it, Shawwell5 did it, Ghost Rules did it, Katie Boo 1979 did it, Top Min Kwan did it, I think there's somebody else that I'm missing, and if I am, I'm totally sorry about that. But yeah, the bias tag, a lot of you did it, and I really appreciate it because I think more so than at any other time, the last 2 months have been really negative for K-pop. Like, I don't know why, but like ending December and going into January, I feel like the comments on videos have been really negative, and it's nice to have videos out there that celebrate our artists and build them up, and also to share kind of your knowledge base about those groups. I learned a lot about different groups from watching different tag videos, and I really loved hearing you guys' love story because in some ways your story was similar to mine, in some ways your story was different, but it helped me to appreciate why you're a fan. And I think sometimes that's what we forget. Like when people criticize someone who's a fan of a group, a lot of times it's because they don't understand why they're a fan, they don't get the fandom, they just have no way of relating. And I think when you talk to people on a human level, then it's hard for them to deny what you're saying because you're not saying it from a I'm better than you or I'm more than you. You're starting at the very bottom and building up. And if you start at the bottom and build up, I think people really get it. And so I really loved the tag videos. And if I didn't mention your tag video, I apologize. I tried to leave comments on every tag video that I saw. I forgot to mention Infinite 07 in Spirit 21. That's the one I forgot. Anyway, I tried to leave comments for every video that I saw, so if I didn't mention you by name, I apologize, but if I haven't left a comment for your video, I may not have seen it. So please let me know in the comments if you made one and I just missed it somehow. Alright, so back to the haul. The first 3 items we're going to talk about are this row up here because I got those all from different places, and then we're going to talk about these 5 together because I got those from the same person. So I feel like I have to talk about them together. So number 1, we're going to talk about this one because this one is probably the one that's the worst out of the group. This is Wooyoung Solo 23 male single, which sounds like a personals ad. Not sure why they went with that, but whatever. This is a CD that I have wanted for a long time. Back when this album first came out, I bought the MP3 of it because I loved the Sexy Ladies video, but more so, there's a song here. Hopefully I'll be able to focus. Probably not. Ugh, camera's having difficulties this morning. Be With You, number 4. It is my favorite 2 PM song outside of Ad Toy. I love that song. It's so good. It was written by Juno and sung by Wooyoung, so I just considered it a 2 PM song because it's got more than one member. But it's just a really great song, and there is a video of them recording that song on the 2 PM YouTube page. So if you haven't seen it, I encourage you to watch it. I just love this song. So I love this album anyway. I thought the album was good, but I just really, really love that song. So I've been wanting the physical forever, but it's a JYP album. And as we all know, JYP sucks with packaging. I don't know who runs their packaging department. I don't know if they have a research and development team. But if they do, they all need to be fired because this is another example of where it seemed like a good idea at the time, but in reality, it sucks. Okay, so you guys can't not notice this kind of dimpling right here in the corner and this kind of like downward slope that's going on here. That's because this is a tray CD where it has the one end is covered, so the actual tray that's inside doesn't slide all the way through like a slip cover. So it hits against the rim of the tray, and also the tray is not all the way full, so it kind of falls into the tray and it causes that dimpling there because there's no support for the cover. And it's a shitty thing to do, and I hate when people make these kind of silly mistakes. But then again, like I said, JYP is always trying something different and just really not taking the time to figure out how fans can live with these things. So I didn't buy this new, I bought this used, and even though it looks really rough, I really don't think that it's the fault of the person who had it before me. I really consider this and this dip here to be manufacturing flaws, because I've had experience with tray CDs before from other people, and it's kind of the same thing. So yeah, that's probably the one that I'm the most disappointed with, but still I'm glad to have it, because like I said, that album I love, and I've had the MP3 since it came out. Next, I'm going to talk to you about these two albums here. These are the EXO albums, the Mandarin and the Korean. These were the last two I needed to have all of the EXO albums, because I have both Mamas, I have both Growls, I have both Miracles in December, and I have both Overdoses, and I have XOXO, the special edition. So discography-wise, I now have everything that EXO has done for music. I don't have any desire to get their photo books or DVDs, so I feel complete. You know, until they release new music, I feel pretty complete. But I waited a long time to get these because I felt like they were overpriced considering what I've seen in terms of reviews. I've seen a lot of people review these albums and talk about them after they've had them in their collection for a while. And from what I've heard, the overwhelming consensus was these albums are packaged terribly cheap, and now that I have them, I can't help but agree. I got a really good deal for these. Without photo cards, I got the pair for $20 including shipping, so $10 each minus shipping. You can't beat that. Like, that's really a great price, and they're in brand new condition. Like, basically whoever had these flipped the photo card out and sold me the albums, because they look like they've never even been flipped through, which is nice. But after I flip through them, I'm like, I'll probably never flip through these again either, because they're built so poorly. It's basically copier paper, cardstock, and black masking tape. It is that flaw. And then it has one of my least favorite things in the world. I've told you guys about it. The little CD flaps where you can just shake the damn thing out. I hate that. I hate that. And it sucks because look how cute that CD is. It's adorable. And I love the concept, how they make it look like it's a student notebook slash slam book slash yearbook. I really enjoy the way that the concept was done for this. And of all their concepts, this is absolutely my favorite EXO concept. I like it better than the whole alien universe thing for Mama. I like it better than the elves for Miracles in December, even though that's really cute. And I like it way better than Overdose. Overdose was just, I hated that concept. I didn't like it at all. But yeah, it's a great concept. It's just got really faulty execution. And I think that SM must have heard that, because Growl is so very thick. Like, it's just, they're humongous in terms of thickness. So I think this is probably a reaction to people saying how flimsy this packaging was. But still, I'm glad to have it, because like I said, I really love this concept, and it makes my collection complete as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, wish list item achieved. Level up. Next, we're going to talk about this one. It's the Just Us CD by JYJ, also known as Backseat, the album is. I wanted this album almost from the minute that Backseat came out. The problem was it was just so flippin' expensive. Like, it was $30. I wasn't gonna pay $30 for this. $30 in my mind is 2 CDs. So that's why I was like, shit, $30. I just don't. And then I saw the review that Tina Davidson did on this, and it looked really nice, but still my mind's like, $30. Damn it, $30. Finally, after a long time of waiting, I was on Amazon and I saw that there was a seller who was selling this album, including shipping, 20 bucks. And I thought to myself, for brand new, that's probably the best I'm going to get deal-wise on this album. Let's go ahead and get it. So I ordered it up. It came in the mail. And guys, it is so worth $20. First of all, it's heavy as fuck. It's like a 5-pound album. It's crazy how heavy this thing is. And then when you open it up, it's just so nice. Like when you hold it in your hand, you can tell how nice it is, because the outside of the package looks like linen and it feels like it's really well made, sturdily made. The flowers on the front look like they've been hand painted on, so whatever print that they used, it really does come across. It's very lovely. Inside, the photo book is pretty, and the CD plate is really gorgeous. I mean, it's just a really lovely, well put together album. It's classically made for classic music, you know, so I really enjoy this. I'm glad I finally got it, but man, it was just so expensive when it came out, you know, and unless you are a real true JYJ fan, I don't think that you should pay $30 for this. I think that $20 is the perfect price. And if you can get it for less than $20, you're getting a deal, because it is worth $20. Like, compared to some CDs that I've bought in the past, this feels like $20. Especially if you're like me and you're buying shiny Japanese CDs. This is way worth $20 compared to some of that stuff. Some of that stuff, it's ridiculous how expensive it is for what little you get. So yeah, I really like this a lot, and I'm so glad I finally have it. I've been listening to this. I've been listening to it so much that the CD isn't even in here anymore. It's actually in my car. Alright, next we're going to talk about these 5 here, because I got them all from the same person. It's someone here on YouTube, and they were just really, really generous, and I don't know how to say thank you enough. I mean, the price that they offered them to me for was crazy nuts, and the fact that they came in, like, really super fast, it was crazy how fast they came in. Like, literally, I paid for it one day, and 3 days later, it was at my apartment. Like, it was just super, super fast. So, yeah, thank you so much, and hopefully we can do business again, because you're awesome. I need to say something, though, about one of these CDs. First of all, just about everything you see here has been on my wish list for different reasons, except for this CD right here. And I feel like I need to talk about this, because I feel like it's the elephant in the room that no one ever really talks about, because they get scared. APink is not my favorite group, and I don't really like APink. And I have to say that because I feel like if you say that you don't like a group, people want to bash you, like say that you're being hateful. And it's not about being hateful. It's more about the fact that sometimes things don't strike your fancy. Sometimes there can be a song or an album or a group that you just don't get, that you just can't connect with. And that's been my story with APink. But I'm the kind of person that if everyone likes something, not saying that I have to like it too, because I'm not going to be peer pressured that way, but when everybody likes something, I try to at least give it a chance, because I feel like there's got to be a reason. And sometimes when I give it a chance, I'm pleasantly surprised. And sometimes when I give it a chance, it turns out to be exactly what I thought it was, and I realize it's not for me. Me having this album was really me trying to give APink a chance, because they're a group that everyone loves. And personality-wise, looks-wise, I like them. Especially this one right here. She's a great little actress, but I just could never get into their music. And I thought that maybe the problem I had with APink was the same problem I had with a couple of other groups, like Infinite. Like with Infinite, I could never really get behind their singles until Be Back, but their albums are everything. So I was hopeful that with APink, getting an album by them, I would be able to maybe find something different that I could hold on to, and then it can make it to where I can build that experience with them, and then I can kind of understand what everybody else is going through. I have it. I listened to it more than once, because I don't believe in listening to an album once, and I have to say, my mind hasn't been changed. This is a gorgeous album. The CD plate is so cute, especially with the bird and the little froggy. The photo book itself is gorgeous. Like, it's everything adorable that you want to see. People lounging around on white furniture, people in kind of schoolgirl outfits, beautiful flowers, cute little sailor suits, the lovely outdoors. I mean, it's a great looking photo book concept album. They're gorgeous girls, but this music just doesn't do anything for me. It sounds like a collection of CF backgrounds to me. It sounds like a bunch of theme songs to television shows. It just doesn't have a character to me. And I wanted to talk about that in this video only because I think other people have wanted to say the same thing, but they've been afraid to say it because they don't want to get bashed. I'm saying it. And if you want to downvote this video because of it, feel free. But all I can be is honest. And honestly, APink just isn't for me. But I still wish them all the best. And I still love watching other people's unboxings for stuff like this. And I still am going to support their individual activities on the acting and variety front. I just don't see myself ever buying another APink album. But I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep this album. One, because it came from somebody who is really super sweet and was very generous by even letting me buy this from them. And two, because like I said, it's a really cute CD. I really like it a lot, like the actual look of it. So I'm gonna keep it, but I don't think I'm ever gonna buy another APink album. Like I don't see that happening for me. Alright, so now that I've gotten that off my chest, because you don't know how hard it was for me to say that. Like I was kind of scared, but I'm like, if I'm gonna do this video, I have to say that. So yeah, now we can get past that and get to the good stuff. Troublemaker. This CD right here, I've wanted the CD probably since it came out, but not the physical. I had the MP3 of this. Okay, I had the MP3 of this album when it came out. I wasn't collecting K-pop CDs at the time, but I've always wanted this kind of, or at least I wanted to look through the photo book of this because I really loved the concept for the video. I loved the concept for this group, and at the time, I was just starting to kind of pay more attention to Beast. So him in particular, I was really interested in because apparently he was originally supposed to be a member of Big Bang, which I don't know how you deal with that. Like if you're a person who is on the edge of being in Big Bang and then you're not in that group anymore and then you have to like rebuild yourself from the bottom while you watch Big Bang soar, that's a special kind of person that can pick up their career from like the floor and make it into something special all its own. More so, I also feel for him because I think it was a couple years ago his dad died. So, I mean, I always feel bad for people who lose their parents. I've been fortunate in that I have both my mom and my stepfather, but my biological father died when I was 12, and I've always felt sympathy for people who lose their parents because in my lifetime, I've relied on my parents quite a bit, and with his dad being gone, he's kind of the man of his family now. So I really have enjoyed tracking his career. And this album was kind of the album that made me get to know him and his backstory. So that's why it's important to me. And I'm really glad I have it now. I don't know if I'm going to get Chemistry because I really didn't like Now. I just didn't like that song. I didn't like that video. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. But Troublemaker, on the other hand, the actual whistle part of that song was my ringtone for over a year. That's how much I love that song. So to have it in my collection really is important to me, and I'm really glad I had it because it's a special memory to me getting to know him. And I hate to say his name. I keep saying him. I know it's JS, but I just don't like saying his given name because I can't pronounce it. But yeah, I really love getting to know him and getting to know his story and kind of getting to see not only his struggle and his defeat, but his eventual triumph. So yeah, I'm glad I have this because it means more to me to have it in my collection than just simply the music. Like I have a special, strong memory attached to it. Next, we're going to talk about Tiara's Black Guys. I say that because when you say the name fast, it sounds like Black Guys. It's Black Guys. Black Guys. Anyway, I love this album so much for its book. Like the actual songs itself, it's not really heavy in the music. If you look at the track list, there's only 4 real songs and then there's a ballad version. So the track list itself is not so heavy. And I think of the Tiara albums I've heard so far, this is the one that I think was probably one of the weakest, like vocally and background music wise. But the photo book for this is so awesome. Once again, we have one of the large format ones. It's the long kind. And everybody looks amazing. Black and white photography, on point. Hair, of course, killing it. These outfits are everything. Everyone looks so good. But then it does something that the Mirage album did. You get the MV stills. And they're so awesome. And they're so cool. And then I thought this was the cutest thing ever. They have the little faux movie posters for the MV. Isn't that adorable? Well, not adorable like fluffy bunnies, but like, what a neat idea. What a neat little idea, you know, to just pull that whole concept forward. So yeah, I love this photo book. And I like the plate on the CD too. That's pretty awesome. But yeah, I love this album's concept, photo book, everything. I think it's really cool. And I'm telling you, every single time I receive a T-ara album, I just want to buy another one. So getting this, I want to buy another one. And I actually have another one I'll show you probably in a later video. But yeah, I'm falling in love. It's really weird. I didn't anticipate this, but I mean, I've always been a casual fan, but I am really starting to fall in love with this group. And not even with any individual person in the group. More so, I just really like the way that their label kind of places them. They have a really reliable sound while always keeping it interesting. And they're like, you know it's them, but it's always something different. So I really like them a lot. And I'm starting to really, really dig Tiara in a way that I did not anticipate before about Christmas time. Next, we have Super Junior's Spy. I almost bought Sexy Free and Single so many times in the past because I really, really love that song, but I hate that photo book. I'm going to say it, and I'm sure other people feel the same way. All those twigs and the bird's nests and the chiffon in the hair and the white powder on the face, I didn't get it. You know, I don't know what the hell SM was thinking. But this, on the other hand, is so freaking adorable. First of all, I mean, it looks really nice. You know, even though it's petite, it just has a really fun, clean look. You open it up. I actually like the white plastic. I don't know why, but that just, I don't know. It makes me happy. And then the photo book, it's all these kind of like casual photos of everybody. And I really love that. I mean, there's something about seeing a boy group looking natural and kind of like in their element that I really enjoy. Because they're guys, you know, and being from the United States, we're not really used to seeing guys with like full-on eye makeup and lip gloss, so it's kind of nice to see them in a way that I guess I can relate to, in a way that I see the guys that I live around and that I'm around. So yeah, I really, really dig this photo book, and this is actually the album that made me want to know more about Super Junior. I remember hearing Bonamana, I remember hearing Mr. Simple, I remember even the dance for Sorry Sorry, just like sleeping Korea and seeing it on all these different dramas and variety shows. But I still was never interested in Super Junior until Sexy Free and Single came out. And Sexy Free and Single was like the anthem to my dog walking for so long. Whenever I'd get out there to take him for a walk, I'd be like, let's put it on. And it would make me want to walk for miles. I just love that song so much. So I'm really glad to have this because it really was a turning point for me and Super Junior. As it stands, I don't think I'm going to go back and get any more of their older stuff. But I do want to get Rewind, which is a solo for Super Junior, but I still want to get that one. And I bought Mamacita based on my enjoyment of this album. I went ahead and I got Mamacita, and you guys have seen me talk about that one already. But yeah, I feel like this started my enjoyment of Super Junior, so this means a lot to me, and this album has been on my wish list for a minute, so I'm really glad I got it because I've cherished it so far. It's been a really great listen and some really great times remembering, because Sexy Free and Single is a song I hadn't listened to in a while, but listening to it again, I realized why it was the jam. Alright, and then the last thing I want to talk about is this album here, because this album is so important. This is FX's Pink Tape. This album is probably the most perfect K-pop CD of all time. And it's a perfect K-pop CD because it's a CD I feel like you could only make in Korea, but it's so very not K-pop at the same time. Like, I feel like only a group like FX could release an album like this. First of all, let's talk about the packaging. Packaging-wise, how amazing is this thing? I mean, it looks like a VHS. And for those of us who grew up in the 80s, 90s, you remember VHSs. You remember going to Blockbuster and them having the blank cassette cartridges and then having like the description box on the back of it so you can decide whether or not you wanted to rent the movie. This is a slice out of my childhood, and I can't get over how eerily accurate everything is. What a great job they did with putting this together. But there's something else that I guess maybe not a lot of people made the connection to, because a lot of K-pop fans are way younger than me. But the style of music that's on this album very much reminds me of the era that VCR tapes were popular, VHS cassettes. Because there's a lot of like dance music on here. There's a song on here, I think it's Signal, that sounds like a Jamiroquai song, which was a really hot group back then. It takes me into a place, and it's totally kind of like a concept album in my opinion. And that's why I say it's an album that only K-pop could do, and only a group like FX could do, and why it's the perfect K-pop CD, because musically, it hits on all cylinders. Like, there's no bad songs on this album at all. But also, I don't think a Western group could as fully commit to something like this without people thinking that they were cheesy or they were hokey or that they were just, you know, a one-off group with like, they would think it was silly, maybe, because they would feel like they were committing too much to one idea. And they wouldn't be able to see through that and see the artistry of this group. Whereas I think in K-pop, they appreciate the fully formed concept more. And that's why I say something like this you really could only do in K-pop. But also, on a sonic level, the harmonies that the girls have are so strong in this album. Just like the packaging is perfectly done, I feel like the harmonies are perfectly set for this group. Nobody sounds weak vocally in this, which is amazing. And it met every expectation I'd had, because this has been on my wish list from the beginning of me having a wish list. It met every expectation I had, and it even exceeded the expectations I had. And I'd heard this album many times, had it on MP3, so it's not like I'm a new person to the music, but there's something about holding it in your hand and then listening to the music while you're holding it and flipping through the photo book and everything else. And I just really realized like how awesome this was. You know, what perfection this is. So yeah, I'm so grateful to get it. And in case you guys are wondering, because I know that's something that people watch these videos for, I didn't get a photo card for this because it was used. I didn't get photo cards for these because they were used. And I did get the Luna photo card for this because the person who sold me these albums is an amazing, awesome person and just extremely generous. But yeah, this album, I've wanted it forever, and I finally have it. And I think of everything you see here, that if I had to get rid of something and just keep 3 items, it would be this one number 1, this one number 2, and this one number 3. Like, those are top 3 out of the section you see here. Alright guys, this is a long ass video. If you stayed put to watch it, thank you. If you listened to my rambling, thank you again. I'm sure this is probably one of my worst videos ever, because I just feel like lately I've been doing a horrible job. But I still appreciate you guys watching, and hopefully the next video I put out there will be a bit more fun, be a bit less pointless. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.